Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to lesson 7.4 in our Big Ideas book, continuing with constructions and scale drawings, page 294 and 295, where we are going to classify quadrilaterals and find missing angle measure in a quadrilateral. The first video, this one that we're watching right now, we're going to classify these quadrilaterals. In the next video, we're going to find the missing angle measures inside them. Our essential question, how can you use properties of quadrilaterals to classify the quadrilateral? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am certainly hoping that you spent the time, the few minutes, probably 5 to 7 minutes, maybe, drawing this very important flow chart on quadrilaterals. Remembering, a quadrilateral is a polygon. We know that polygons are enclosed or closed figures with straight sides. In our last video lesson, we learned that the smallest one has 3 sides, called those triangles. And now we have the quadrilateral, meaning quad, meaning 4. We have 4-sided polygons that we call quadrilaterals. And you draw that flow chart. There's 3 special types of quadrilaterals. First, you just have a quadrilateral. That's just a 4-sided figure. Nothing special. But there are 3 special quadrilaterals. One of them being a quadrilateral with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. You should know exactly what that is just by me giving you the characteristics. The second one being a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of congruent adjacent sides, and that the opposite sides are not congruent. That one is probably not one you heard of in elementary, even though you've probably spent time with one of these out on a windy day. And the last one being a quadrilateral that has opposite sides that are parallel and congruent, knowing that that special quadrilateral also has 3 special quadrilaterals. All right, you have the one that has 4 right angles. You have the one that has 4 congruent sides. And then you have the one that has both 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. So if you haven't written all that down, then you're wasting your time just watching and listening to me. Because as we go through these few quadrilaterals, we're not going to do them all, and classify them, you should be able to either look at your notes or look at the book and do them with me, so that I'm not just wasting my breath and you're just wasting your time writing it down. So here we go. We're going to classify some quadrilaterals, looking at the characteristics. And so when we look at this picture, of course we could match it up with the picture in the book. We could, and that would help us. But what if we don't have the book and our notes during the test that we can match it up with? So we just have to take a look at it. And what do we have? Well, it looks like we have a quadrilateral with opposite parallel sides and 4 sides that are the same. And looking at that, I think I would call that, to be the most specific, I would call this one a rhombus. I would call this one a rhombus. Outstanding. The next one, here we have one with opposite parallel sides. It also has 4 right angles, and it has 4 congruent sides. Wow, all those characteristics tell me one thing. It is a square. Something you should know about a square. All squares are rectangles. And all squares are also rhombus. However, not all rectangles are squares. So all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. And all squares are rhombus, but not all rhombus is a square. Okay? Moving right along, we have, let's see, this has opposite parallel sides. And except this time, you have different. The opposite sides are not, all 4 sides are not congruent, like in the last one. And so we're calling this, what are we calling this? That's right, a rectangle. The next one, opposite parallel sides. This time it's kind of on an angle, so we don't have right angles in it. And the opposite sides are congruent, so what are we going to call this one? That's right. We're going to call this one a, yeah, you thought I was going to tell you, didn't I? A parallelogram. Hopefully you were already writing that as I tricked you into thinking I was going to tell you what it was. Moving right along, number 5, we have 1 pair of opposite parallel sides. Well, that's easy. We have one of these tables in our room. You know what we call that? That's right. A trapezoid. Trapezoid. I can spell trapezoid. And this last one right here, yeah, this is the special one. And it looks like something that would have a tail on it, and you'd put some string on it, and you would run outside, and you would be holding it with your hands, and you'd be like, yay, I'm running, it's a kite, I'm flying it, yay, all right, I'm flying a kite. That's right, it's a kite. Okay, it's a kite. So, ladies and gentlemen, quick right number one as we went through this very quick video, but you would have spent most of your time drawing and labeling that flow chart on what quadrilaterals are, the different types and the different characteristics. If you didn't draw that, that's a shame because I did ask you to, and it is very important to know all that. So quick right number one, you have parts A and B. Go ahead and make a very quick, simple drawing. You can do it without a straight edge, and you can draw something like this and put these marks on them, and then you can label them. And I would also write down the characteristics that make it what it is. Don't just say, this is a blank. Say, this is a blank because it has, and then list the characteristics that make it what you call it. Outstanding. Get a quick drink, get a quick snack. Come back for video number 2.